watching you. We're watching you. They thought it was over. Every time we don't come on Monday, they think it's over. They think we're done. Every time we don't see podcast day, they think it's done. They think it's over. We're over. That's not true. Because we keep going. Those are the vibes. These are the vibes. You're not feeling these vibes. I don't
know what that guy's saying.
He's saying swoop down on it.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You ever swoop down on it?
No.
No? Why not? Why don't you want to swoop down on it?
I
think about it for a second.
Yeah.
No? You don't want to think about it?
I have.
Yeah? Have you ever attempted to swoop down on it?
No.
No?
No, I'm not a swooping kind of guy.
Oh, really?
No.
What's wrong with swooping down on it?
I'll leave that up to you.
Oh, okay. Summer Dan?
Maybe then I'll. What did you say?
Swoop
down on it?
Yeah, the summer of Dan.
Yeah.
You think you get a pass because summer hasn't arrived yet? It's your summer.
Not
about to turn up.
Well, you never know.
No t-shirt Dan.
Better be hitting the gym a little bit.
You got one downstairs.
I know. I gotta use it a little more often.
Lift some weights.
Yeah.
Get on that treadmill. Hope your gym has a treadmill.
It does.
Oh,
2.
Does it got a bike?
Yep.
Does it got an elliptical?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Two treadmills, 2 ellipticals, 5 bikes.
You guys are getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you.
And a skipping rope.
See?
Actually, you know what? Funny story. Broke the skipping rope last time.
I don't want to know why. I don't want to know how you broke a skipping rope.
It broke in half.
I
guess I was skipping too fast.
So this is going to be the summer, Dan.
Yeah.
See, as soon as we said that, the sun pops out.
That's right.
It's probably a bit warm now. They just want you to get into your little summer fits.
Yeah.
Got your summer fits ready?
I do.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
See, you're so prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
surprising me.
They're laying in the closet, ready.
You're surprising me. You take a few days off. You got your summer fits ready.
Yep.
You've declared that it's the summer of Dan.
I have.
Dan of the summer.
Yep.
What's the difference between Dan of the summer and Dan in the winter?
One is in better shape than the other.
Oh, okay. One is warmer than the other.
I thought I'm a warm guy all the time.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. Pause.
No.
I don't want to know. Pause.
No.
No.
You know.
I don't want to know.
No, I'm the same guy.
Okay.
Summer, winter, spring, fall.
Just a bit different.
Yeah.
Just the aura around you just lifts up the room.
This is true.
Oh, you're hyping yourself up. You better lift to it.
Oh, I know. Shit.
You're just trash all summer.
Oh God.
People are gonna see you on the streets. Oh, he didn't lift my aura up.
Yeah. Great. And he's still out of shape.
Yeah, he's still out of shape. His summer fits are trash.
Yeah.
He's not getting it popping.
Nope.
They don't see you in the 416 streets.
No. They'll see me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just waiting for someone to say to me, "Hey, are you Dan from the InnerViews Podcast?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Then I know I made it.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Is that so? Oh, they're trying to get us. They'll try to get us out of here before that even happens, man. You know, they're gonna be like, "Why isn't Dan from the InnerViews Podcast at that event that took place on Saturday that he didn't go to?"
What event?
I don't know. I don't know. What happened last Saturday in your hometown?
Oh, yeah. I didn't go to that.
Don't worry, folks. It was CPL Talk for Monday. CPL Talk for Monday. This is Thursday. It's Thursday today. Strictly a Champions League podcast. The Europa League happened today as well.
It did.
Arsenal won. Chelsea drew. Eintracht Frankfurt. That's all you get from the Europa League. Sorry.
Well, we've covered it.
We've covered it. No, why don't we like the Europa League before we start this podcast? Why do people not like it?
I don't know. They better start liking it because UEFA is going to come up with a third competition. So if we're not going to like the Europa League,
yeah, that's a problem. Like, if no one's watching the Europa League, why are we going to watch the third competition?
I don't know.
With the bums of the bums. Sorry.
Yeah.
Call a spade a spade.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. The bums of the bums.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not watching it.
No.
But I think at some point we got to care about the Europa League. Like, what? Why don't we care? What is it about it?
But you know, it's funny that we don't, because there's actually a lot on the line. You get a Champions League spot. So
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent carrot at the end of at the end.
I think people don't care because
it's not the Champions League.
Well, also because you could finish third in the Champions League and then end up winning the Europa League, which is a bit ridiculous. You could finish third in the Champions League in your group stage and then drop down to the Europa League.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think if you finish third in your group, you shouldn't go into the.
That's it.
Yeah, I think you're out.
Yeah, that's definitely how it should be.
Yeah.
Didn't Atletico do that last year? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. See, like, no, that's not cool. Poor Marseille.
That's right.
Marseille, like Marseille should have a Champions League spot.
Yeah,
they did all that work.
Yeah,
and then don't get a Champions League spot because the team that was in the Champions League that couldn't win their group and should have won their group. Yeah, won. Yes, maybe that's why.
You know what? I had
and the trophy's trash.
Yeah,
you don't like it.
Yeah, the Champions League trophy is much better. But it's funny how the Champions League, in general, the competition, just brings out a lot of chatter among people. I was at
just like the World Cup, just like the Euros.
Yeah, okay.
But continue.
But I was at my coffee shop that I go to in Yorkville.
Yeah, we know. Mr. Popular. Yeah. Continue.
Anyways, so I was there having a coffee, and this older gentleman, who we sometimes talk footy, but not too much in detail, sits down across from me and proceeds to ask me if I watched both Tottenham, Ajax, and Liverpool, Barca, which I did, obviously. And we proceed to break down the game, him and I, in great detail.
Yeah.
And he's an Ajax supporter, and he told me why he became an Ajax supporter and how long he was an Ajax supporter. Told me about total football and everything.
Don't you hate when that happens? Unless you asked him, but I don't care.
No, I don't care. But I wanted to hear. I actually was interested to hear his opinion.
Okay.
On both those two games, and normally we don't ever talk, like we just whatever. We don't talk really about footy, but it happened to be because of the Champions League that we broke down these two games in a lot more detail than we normally would.
Yeah.
Hey, he had some good insights. I don't agree with all of it, but he had some good insights.
Oh, see, you're nice.
Yeah,
you're nice. I want to see how long this nice streak lasts. I'm gonna give you a year.
Give me till Friday when Torino beats Juve.
Hey, that could happen.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Shout out to them. I'm rooting for them in that top 4 race.
No, you cannot.
I'm rooting for them and Atalanta.
No, you got one or the other. You're either in the Atalanta camp or you're in the Torino camp.
But I want Inter, Milan, and Roma the hell out of here.
Then
that's why.
Well, then
that's
in
why.
that case.
But no, Atalanta's my squad.
Yeah.
But don't you? You'll learn this later. But like whenever people see you, like the first thing they want to talk about is footy, and it's like
yeah.
But I just want to be in my space. You know, sip on my coffee. I don't drink coffee, but you drink coffee. You just want to sip on your coffee, enjoy your vibes in your unknown, undisclosed coffee shop without someone having to come up to you and tell you what they thought of the game. Sometimes I don't care about what you think about the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes.
It's funny because a couple of weeks ago, this other guy came in and I had my TFC hoodie on.
Yeah, there you go.
And he comes up to me and he looks at me and he's like, "Are you a player or a fan?" And I wanted to say to him, "Yeah, I'm a right back for TFC." But then I thought, like, you know, what player walks around in his team's attire?
You're trying to get your summer fits off.
I guess.
You're trying to get it popping.
I guess.
Trying to let people know. The Yorkfield streets need to know who TFC's new right back is.
Well, it's obviously not me, but that's fine.
It's young Dan.
Yeah.
Dan Young.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah. Sometimes like I don't really want to talk footy.
Yeah.
You know, with people. The problem is that people know.
Yeah.
That I do this and I watch a lot of footy, and they always want to talk.
And the first thing that they see, "Hey, Dan,
yeah,
did you watch TFC?"
That's right.
Listen, man, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, I did.
I want to sit here. We're enjoying the vibes wherever we are, and I'm doing this. And if I bring it up, I'm gonna bring it up.
That's right.
People do it all the time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it.
No.
Please, for my sake. Don't do it.
No.
We could talk about it when I bring it up.
Yeah.
But don't hit me with that first.
No.
Ask me how I am.
Exactly. And if you want to lead into that, I don't mind leading, but that's the first question you're going to ask me.
No. We do too much.
Exactly.
Can't wait for the season to be over. The 38-game grind has been, I feel like we're hitting that mode. But it's also because some of the games don't matter. Like, sorry, folks, this podcast is not whatever happened last weekend. Sorry, we are going to do a better effort of actually, we'll break that when we break down the podcast. Anyhow, I think the mics are on.
I hope so. No, the mics are on.
Yeah, the camera's definitely on.
Okay, you turned it
on.
on.
The vibes are right.
Yeah.
No, the camera guy that's supposed to be there turned it on. Don't worry.
Okay, fantastic.
We got a camera guy.
Yeah, he's in the back.
Yeah, that's chilling,
Yeah.
not saying a word.
No.
Yeah, you keep doing you, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you ready?
I'm ready.
The camera's on, mic's on. I'm pretty sure the soundboard's on. You can speak into the mic. The sound. Yeah, we're hitting those gunshots. Yeah, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. The funny thing is, Dan, I gotta get my phone out for a second.
What happened?
This is the only time we're mentioning Fabs on this podcast today. Okay. But the reason why I need to get my phone out is because I don't know what episode this is.
It is. That is a great question.
That's a very I got it.
75.
I got it. No, see, you're already wrong.
76?
But that being said, since you don't know what episode it is and everything's honest, the InnerViews Podcast, episode 73, live and direct from Toronto, Ontario. We should be at 75, but we've been slacking the past few weeks. But we're about to get it popping. This is the best soccer/footy podcast in the world, and I'm not alone. I'm here with my guy Young Dan Young, DJ Danny Dan's, Dapper Dan, Summer of Dan of the Summer. Oh, you got all the names now.
I know, wow.
How are you, Dan? You popping? Everything's good?
Yeah, it's good.
Sun's coming out.
Hopefully the weather turns around.
Yeah, just
city's been gray and rainy.
Yeah, funny how it's been gray and rainy, and then as soon as you step on the mic,
the sun is out.
Yeah, look at you. Yeah. We need to keep you. Your life needs to be more of a podcast so we could have some good weather.
Well,
yeah, it's okay. I always had faith in you. Yeah. There was something about you that caught my eye. Pause.
Oh, wow.
I'm playing. Anyhow, it's the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. We weren't here on Monday. We're going to get this straight right now. As of this week onwards, no more BS, no more excuses. We had something to deal with.
Yes.
But we are here every Monday. Unless there's well, if I can't make it, Dan's gonna do it by himself, and he's gonna
that'll be a different kind of podcast.
And he's gonna kill it for like 30 minutes or so, an hour, and we're gonna break it down every single Monday. And when there's Champions League, or if there's a special occasion, we may hit you on the odd days. But if there's Champions League or the Europa League, we're here Thursdays, Monday and Thursdays. Lock that in, starting now. No more BS. I just had to get that off my chest. People probably think, oh, these guys are done. No podcast Tuesday morning. No podcast day. Little Instagram story. Nah, we are here. And to be honest, the weekend didn't really matter. We could take if we really wanted to, we could take every Monday off because we're hitting you with the same stuff because there's nothing else to really talk about.
Nope.
How many you want to hear about? No, I'm joking. They want to hear about Liverpool thrashing Huddersfield.
Okay.
City getting by Burnley, although Burnley didn't really test them at all.
No. Millimeters. Centimeters.
Yeah. So, I don't care. But
rinse and repeat.
Yeah, no, we're going to be here on Mondays. We're going to be here on Mondays starting this Monday. And we're here Thursday because we could have missed the Champions League, the tournament of all tournaments, the kings of Europe that need to be crowned. Who would it be? But before we get into that, how are you?
I am very good.
Your little week was good? The little Monday off was refreshing?
Yeah, it was. I messaged you. I was like, I kind of missed the podcast.
Oh, saying you want your life to be a little podcast.
A little bit.
Yeah. People are getting upset about that. I feel like they're like, oh, all you do is pod. All you do is watch games. I was like, look, man, we kind of do have a summer break.
A big one coming up.
Yeah, we got a big one. We're going to maximize that. But from August to May, you know when there's no games.
That's right.
You know where to find me. Yeah. You know where to find Young Dan.
Yep.
They know where to find you.
I'm not going to tell them where, but they know where to find me.
Getting it popping.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say about that. Yeah. You enjoy your week? Do anything exciting?
No, low key week.
Last time we were here, the Leafs were still in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, they're not.
Last time we were here.
Hey, shout out to Boston.
Whatever. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to the Raptors. They play tonight. That's why this is gonna be a real quick podcast.
Yep.
Our lives don't matter. We're just trying to get out of here.
That's right.
Real quick. Yeah, they're playing. You sure you
in
did
Philly?
It? Yeah. Well, they should be fine. I don't really care about that. I'm surprised you didn't do anything, Young Dan. Your life is like this whole mysterious bubble now.
I know. I like to keep it that way.
I know. I never know when to catch you out.
Nope.
I never know where to catch you out.
Nope. I might be here. Might be in the Hammer watching Forge. Nope.
Look. Oh yeah. Back to the CPL thing. Yeah, the Canadian Premier League did make their little debut this weekend. How many games were there? Was there 3 or 2?
2, I believe.
Yeah.
One was played last night too.
So 3.
So 3, yeah.
Yeah, and it was only on streams the first 2. The second 2.
The second 2, yes.
Yeah.
The first one was
on CBC.
Yes.
And then besides that, so if I go on this little streaming app, I haven't checked it out yet.
Neither have I, to be honest.
Will it still be there? Well, we're gonna find out.
So here's my beef with that, and I told those people who are employed by that football club.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just not paying for two streaming services. I don't, and I had two of my boys that we go watch TFC with, who both listen to this podcast, so they're gonna know what I'm gonna say. We broke it down in terms of monetarily how much per game the streaming service costs, and it's minimal. But I just said to them, I already pay. Well, I will be paying for the other streaming service.
We don't need to name them. No, they're trash. They're trash ass streaming service
that we're forced to pay for because there's no soccer in this country.
Yeah.
Other than on that streaming service, I'm just not going to pay for another one.
I agree.
I just don't see the value in paying for two.
I agree.
So, yeah, it is what it is.
Oh no, we're gonna break down that entire little league. I just feel like today is not the time because Thursdays we kind of strictly
no, it's not today
to the Champions League. But we're gonna break it down. Do they have any televised games this weekend? We'll check that out. I don't really care right now.
I'd have to check.
Anyone who's listening to this, if they want to watch it, they will find a way to watch it.
Yes,
I'm not gonna promote it, but I heard that Tim Hortons field was lively.
It was. It was a decent crowd. I actually we'll give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
One, I thought it had a decent crowd for the home opener. Weather wasn't great, but that didn't stop people from coming out, so that was good. Secondly, in terms of the quality on the pitch, it was better than I thought it would be.
I'll comment on that on Monday.
Yeah, I want to see the depth of the league, though. How good are those? The starting 11 might be good. What about the bench?
We'll get to that on Monday.
Yep. And no, that's it.
Okay.
I was gonna look at it from how they're doing marketing and whatnot, and they're doing okay in terms of getting their voice and stuff out there. But at the end of the day, that streaming service, I'm not gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with their marketing stuff because I know they're gonna hire the right people and do the right things to get that across. The quality is obviously a big thing, and they'll hire more people to kind of push the message across. Cough, cough. A lot of the people that unfortunately may not be able to cover the Premier League next year, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of venture into that as well.
Right.
And if they do, kudos to them. That's not a shot at them. But my standpoint on this entire league still stands firm, but I'll leave that for Monday. I guess we got to give them a kudos because it's not all hate here. We got to give them a kudos for their opening day weekend, and it looked like the home opener was a success based off their standards, and even based off mine. I knew what I was going to get from the home opener, so I'm just happy the people showed up because if people don't show up for that, then and given the circumstances as to the tickets and whatnot, if you don't show up for that, then yeah, we got a big problem. I don't care if TFC's playing or not.
So here's the other question, and I haven't posed this question to the people who did go, but my question is, would you go back? And would you go back having to pay for
exactly
the next game?
Exactly. But continue.
And I don't want to get too far into it. That's what I was going to say because we should say this for Monday. But the tickets for that event were free for the majority of the people. So what happens in week 2 and week 3 and week 4, et cetera, where you have to pay for tickets? Now, are you willing to watch that product if you have to pay for it? That's the question.
That's the biggest question here.
Yep.
That's the biggest question. And not to really get into it, and we'll say this again on Monday, is just with so much going on in the summer of Dan. I mean, we got Copa America. We got the Nations League. You got the Women's World Cup. You got preseason starting. What else is happening? You got eventually the Premier League starts in August, so that overlaps with
you got TFC
the Premier League.
Well.
You got the MLS, and you got TFC. You got all that happening. You got people in the city that want to be out in the summer weather. You got people that want to go on vacation, that want to go to their cottages, that want to do this and that. So it's going to be interesting to see how these fans are able to juggle all that time, plus work their average job, plus have time for their family. Plus they don't really, I could tell you that TFC isn't sold out every week.
No, it's not.
So, and even in the Jovinko era, I don't think it was sold out every week.
No, it was.
So it was?
Was not.
It was not, right? So that's where I stand. And that's where the people that are pushing this so hard, they got to get on their ass and get people like you and I to get to this every single weekend. And that's the mission there. And obviously, the other mission is the quality, but we'll get to that at a later date.
Yep.
And that's all I got to say about that. But I'm surprised you didn't do anything besides that, young Dan.
Actually, I
Dan
did.
Young.
I did. I actually...
Oh, you went to TFC?
No.
Oh.
On Sunday, I went to watch the Toronto Wolfpack.
I don't even know who that is.
That's the rugby team.
Oh, you're serious about that. How was that?
You know what? They had 9,000 or 10,000 people at Lamport.
Really?
Yeah. It was actually, you know what? I don't know anything about rugby. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of learned as I went. And I went with two friends of mine. And you know what?
Some bad friends.
I know. The tickets were free, by the way.
Doesn't
you know
tell
what?
us that.
It was actually a good time.
Really?
Yeah, legitimately, there were the quality on the field. Well, I mean, to me, it was good. I guess. But just the whole small stadium, good feel, and I could see that tying into the CPL feel, where the stadium was full. The vibes were really good. The atmosphere was really good, but it was a tight stadium.
Okay.
So, I could see that working out for the CPL too, especially those stadiums that they built out west and out east that are small. You know what? We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Would you date a rugby player?
Rugby girl?
Yes, Dan. No. A rugby.
No.
No? Why not?
No.
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 No? It was just you'd feel bad that she plays such a physical sport, and it would put so much stress in your life that you would have to watch her possibly give her life to the sport and get injured, and you couldn't bear the thought of watching that.
You took the words.
I know you will. Fair enough.
Yep.
I just want to ask.
Yeah.
She was cute. I'll let her. I'll chill. I'll let her manhandle me. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm behaving today. I'm behaving today. This is questions that need to be asked. Okay.
I know.
There are people listening that probably
would like to know. No.
Would want to date a rugby person, but
yeah, because I went to this rugby game with Jimmy's significant other. I'll say who she is.
Yeah.
And another friend of ours.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, I would date a rugby guy."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, you're crazy, because I wouldn't date the opposite.
You don't think they're girlfriends and boyfriends in the stands rooting on for the love of rugby?
Yeah,
because they're
probably praying, please don't get hurt.
Hey, man, it's a serious question I have to ask. But the streets of the 416 streets didn't get you out?
No.
The weather's still a bit.
The weather was garbage this weekend.
Still waiting for. Okay, I'm waiting for the debut of young Dan.
I told you, in 1 month's time.
Yeah. Okay. We're definitely giving a play-by-play through.
Listen, you and I have never gone to any event together.
I'm washed. I don't go out.
I know, that's why.
Yeah.
So when I step out, I expect you to step out with me.
No, it's your summer.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't want to. I'm definitely not getting in the moment. I want to hear.
Oh, I
like to listen.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and take notes. I'm not stepping out in these streets.
That's fine.
Too busy. Too dangerous. Yeah. And I don't know, where does a person our age go now and have fun?
Why don't you ask Osario?
Okay, no, relax. I'm not asking no one nothing. I thought you'd tell me like your colleagues, like they would have some ideas of where they go and have fun.
You know what?
Because I'm an old man at heart.
Oh, they called me old. Everybody does. I don't know. When I find out where there are nice establishments to go to, I'm assuming on King Street. There's enough of them.
I don't go on King Street. Sorry. Not happening.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that. Anyhow, whatever, man. Whatever. We'll get into this on Monday. The real podcast. This is the Champions League podcast. This is the podcast where we break down everything that happened, obviously, in the Champions League, because it's the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. And since Dan didn't really do anything over this past week, but rejuvenate and get back into the groove, and my vibes are kind of chilling because, this is now a smaller operation.
Yes.
Well, we actually got some stuff that are in the works, by the way. Well, It's kind of unfair of me not to tell you, and I'm not going to tell the air and then tell you after.
Okay.
That's rude.
Yeah, well, I was like, wow, okay. Kept me in the dark.
He's like, whoa, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we got some stuff popping, and even if we don't, we're gonna lie to you and tell you that we do.
That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
We got some stuff popping, so that's why we've been a bit on the lows, but we're back Thursdays and Mondays, and yeah, so we're ready to kind of do our thing. So first, we got to give a shout out to the YouTube subscribers, everyone that listens to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Shout out to the people on Facebook, Quora, Twitter, Instagram. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to everyone that's not enjoying this weather right now, because if you're not enjoying this weather, you're my type of person. And if you're enjoying this weather, you need to stay the hell away from me. Shout out to everyone that's working hard, independent men, independent women, everyone that's doing their thing, all the school kids that are out of school. Shout out to all the Leafs fans. My condolences. Keep doing you. Keep fighting the good fight. Gotta give a shout out to them. Big shout out to Iker Casillas. That's crazy. And I think that we got to give him a shout out. And someone else had a heart attack. But Danny Ainge, Boston Celtics.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah. So shout out to him, man. Keep fighting. This is crazy, yo. Everyone's dropping like flies.
Get your heart checked.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't know why I laughed at that, but
I'm just saying.
No, I know. I know.
Always get a checkup.
Yeah.
I always get mine.
Oh.
1 year. Always. Always a 1 year checkup.
Okay.
Make sure the ticker's still working.
I'm not. Shout out to those two. Speedy recovery. Hope all is well. You're in our prayers. Shout out to everyone that's doing their thing, all the financial district people, the gas station workers, the Tim Hortons attendants. Shout out to the hot dog stand guys. That's a hard job, and especially in this weather.
Oh yeah. I don't envy them.
You know, sell yourself for a hot dog. No, I'm not going outside in the rain for a hot dog. No, would you?
Nope.
There's some people that are sick and what?
A lot of people like that street food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah. I'm shocked they haven't had a discovery about what's actually in
Oh
it.
God, I don't even want to know.
No?
Better that way. I don't need it, so it doesn't really matter.
So you're saying now, young Dan. I'm going to catch you on camera with it.
No.
But shout out to the hot dog stand guys, the taxi drivers, the Uber drivers. Uber drivers, behave yourself. Been hearing a lot of stories. We watch the news and you just see all this crazy shit happening in the world. And in the city alone, it's wild.
I took a cab a week ago.
Yeah.
And I really felt bad. The taxi guy gave me this like sob story about how he's losing business to the Uber and Lyft drivers. Kind of felt bad.
Can't they do Uber?
What?
Can't they do Uber?
Yeah, they can, but they've paid for that license.
Oh yeah, true.
I felt bad. I gave him a good tip.
Double shout out. He finessed you. You've been telling everyone that story.
That's fine.
You've been killing everyone with that story.
Yeah.
Hey man. Whatever, you're a good guy.
I know.
Shout out to everyone, man. It's Thursday. We're trying to get out of here. Go Raptors, go. I feel like I'm supposed to say that, so I'm gonna say it. This is shout out to all the podcasters in Toronto. This Toronto Soccer Podcast, Clip Draw Gang, Dan's TFC Live, Fabs' De Gea Clan. Keep doing what you. We gonna kill you in a bit. But shout out to all of y'all. Hope all is well. You're in our prayers, and hopefully we're in yours, because at the end of the day, we do what we do best, and that's providing you with organic, unfiltered soccer/footy analysis, because like I said, it's the best Toronto soccer/footy podcast in the world. So with that being said, it's kind of still different, but if Dan is ready and I'm ready, then you know what time it is. It's the InnerViews Podcast, episode 73. It's your guy Tyrrell, live and direct from Toronto, Ontario. We're going to break down everything that happened in the Champions League this week. And I don't even need to ask Dan where we are starting. Dan, I don't got to ask you shit.
Nope.
I don't got to ask you shit. These two games, I said it. Did I say it on air? I don't know if I said it on air, but I'm going to say it now. Whoever wins the big game that we're going to break down first is going to win the Champions League.
Okay.
I'm going to stick to that.
Yep.
And that's no disrespect to Spurs. And that's no disrespect to Ajax. But at the end of the day, you know, we call a spade a spade. And I never make these little hot takes. I never go out. But like, this is too easy. Yeah. If any of the look, if any of those two, whoever gets out of that, if they lose, failure.
Oh yeah.
Failure of a season.
Yeah.
Failure of a season.
Yeah.
I think I could go on that ledge and be like, hey, nah. You shouldn't be losing to those two. But we know where we're starting this week. We know what the big game was. We knew where the eyes were locked in on. I'm not announcing them. On TNT, on BR Sports, on, I don't know where they announced, Sky Sports.
Probably.
ITV.
Yeah.
How do they get all the cool channels? And we got the one. Have you watched it yet on that stream?
No, I don't have it.
No great instant replay. It's the announcers are terrible. Like, no, I can't do it, man. They got to fix that come next season. But we're going to the Camp Nou. We're going to Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best team in Spain, vying for the treble, but they had to get past a Liverpool side that's only lost one game in the league this season. But their away form in the Champions League has been poor because this is their 4th loss on the road in the Champions League. And this was probably their best performance on the road in the Champions League.
I was going to say the same thing. I'll let you keep going.
But sometimes, when greatness stares you in the eye and you look back at greatness, you better not look at greatness because you got to hide, curl up in a ball. Greatness will overcome all adversity. And that little man did it again. And here we are. How do you feel, Dan? How do you feel?
Honestly, I thought for the first 10, 15 minutes of that second half, I thought that was his best performance that Liverpool, away from home, have played in this Champions League so far. And while I was watching the game, I said to myself, if they don't take their opportunities now, they're going to live to regret it. And they lived to, even in that first half, Mane should have done a lot better on that miss. What was it, 10, 15 minutes after Liverpool scored? They're almost the same type of ball around the back of the defense, and Mane just doesn't have composure as Suarez does.
Yep. It was funny because it was kind of like a similar ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Around the back, striker coming in, and okay, it's on his weaker left foot, but I don't think that really matters. He should be at least testing Ter Stegen. And then Messi shows up. And that little man, as you called him, steals the show. That free kick, I don't even know what to say. I don't even think I could do it in FIFA, to be honest with you.
They're trying to say, it's a slight. I don't give a damn if it's a little slight deflection.
Shut up.
That little slight deflection probably helped. It don't matter.
Alisson is not getting there.
Don't matter.
But as great as those 2 goals were, that Salah chance at the end of the game really,
it makes it a different tie if he scores.
Yeah. Because 3-1, you could argue that Liverpool have a chance to win 2-0 at home. It's not far-fetched. Yeah. But they've got to win 3-0 now at home against that Barcelona team. They have to come out. If Barcelona put 1 through them, which, again, is not out of the realm of possibility, I don't see Liverpool scoring 4 or 5. I know it's happened before. Roma did it to Barcelona last year, but Roma did have that away goal.
Yeah.
And whether you agree with the away goal rule or not, and that's an argument for another day, that 3-0 really might kill this tie off. And Dembele probably should have scored 2 to make it 4.
Fabs' guy is a bum.
Yeah.
He's a bum.
Because he's really... Look, 4-0, I don't even care if Salah scores.
Yeah. He could have... when I saw him miss that, I was like, boy, do they hope that...
Well, I thought the same thing.
Boy, you got to score that. You got to score... He had 2. You got to score 1.
He had 2. Yeah, he's got to score 1. I thought the pullback he should have buried.
Yes. But he's got to score 1 of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man.
Because that one he hits at Alisson in the chest.
Yeah.
Alisson doesn't even move.
Yeah.
But you know what? Honestly, I thought I actually didn't think, regardless of the scoreline, I actually didn't think Liverpool played that badly.
No, there's been a huge contrast in comparison to their group stage away games and their knockout stage away games. And you see the level of maturity and the way that they approach games, because that's even the way that they approach the Bayern game. And obviously Porto is an inferior side to those 2 sides, but the way that they approach the game, you could see that there's a level of maturity in comparison to last season, and they know to handle these situations much better. And without Firmino there, he took a gamble with Wijnaldum, and I don't think the gamble was that bad.
No.
A lot of people are like, maybe you should have played Origi or someone else, but I was fine with Wijnaldum being there. They thought they had their chances. I thought Barcelona at certain stages were a bit too open, but Barca played the way, and I know a lot of Barca fans aren't happy with the way that Valverde has approached things, but the man is on the verge of winning a treble.
Yeah.
He's a few games away from winning a treble. And it doesn't matter the way that he's doing it. I don't think even Messi told them to stop, I think, whistling after he scored one of the goals.
Right.
He was gesturing to them because obviously the way that football is perceived there is that they have to play it one way. And what I've seen in the past is that a lot of managers have elected to play that way, and it's kind of gone on the wrong end for Barca. Mm-hmm. But now Valverde has offered a huge touch of pragmatism, and it's come to a point where it's okay, we're going to play this way because one, a lot of our players are over 30.
Right.
And we can't go.
That was only one of the oldest Barcelona squads.
Yeah.
I think their average age was around 29 or 30 itself.
Yeah. And they don't want to go toe to toe with them. Their core is over 30.
Yeah.
Piqué, Busquets, Rakitic, Suarez, Messi, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how old Jordi Alba is, but he's got to be somewhere close.
Right.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So those are the key guys, and they're over 30. You don't want to go toe to toe with that Liverpool squad. And just like they did against United, where they know that Liverpool have pace, they drop off a bit deeper, they sit off, and they pick their moments. They know that they could stay organized and compact, and even if they do concede a chance, they have arguably the best goalkeeper in the world that will make key saves. And they rely on the brilliance of Messi and their key players to pick those moments well and exploit them. And that's what you have to do in cup competitions. And it feels like they finally understand that. Mm-hmm. And they know that it doesn't always have to be 75% possession to 25% possession with meaningless passes if teams aren't going to allow you to find that space.
Because, sorry to cut you off, but if you look at the number of passes and the possession, both of them favor Liverpool. You would have never thought of that.
No.
But at the end of the day, to your point, and I'm glad that happened in a game like this, because I think people are always too centered around those numbers. Oh, possession, passing. That doesn't give a damn. I always hated those numbers when you do your
analysis,
analytics on the game itself. Yeah, those are great numbers to kind of supplement, but those numbers always can be misleading if you just look at those things.
Yeah, 100%.
And I actually thought this was a very mature performance from this Barcelona team, more pragmatic, more smart.
Yeah.
Mature, if you want to say. It was open at the very beginning, which I was kind of surprised about. I thought it would kind of be a little bit more like a chess match, almost what we saw in the first game, or the other game in the semifinal. But it was very open and kind of fit a little bit of the Barcelona style. And then they kind of reared it back a little bit and said, maybe we shouldn't be this cavalier and it'd be a little bit more pragmatic. Yeah. And look, that the goal from Suarez was a beautiful one. Switch of the field, open the field up. Jordi Alba obviously delivers the killer pass.
Yeah. And
Suarez runs in. To be honest, that was a great play by either Matic or Van Dijk. I don't know if you want to put that more on Van Dijk or whatnot, but for the best player in the Premier League this year, he didn't look very good in this game. And I know it's just one game, and that is Barcelona, but
no, that's fair. I think in some of the biggest games this season, and I've always said that Virgil's great in the air, great in the air. But when teams are able to, one, hold the ball and play balls around him on the ground, I don't think he's the greatest at covering space like that.
You know where I thought was, and I always look at a guy's confidence, and I've never played the football at that level or anything like that, but I've always said you have to look at the confidence in the man, and he was at one point he was on an island with Messi, and he was calling for help. If you're the best defender in the world, you don't need help. Even if you get burnt, you stand up saying, I can cover this guy. Even if it's Messi, even if it's Ronaldo, even if it's Danny Ings, whoever. You know that
Danny's smoking them.
Yeah, I know. But you're confident that your one-on-one ability is good enough to guard that guy. Even if it's not, you show that confidence.
But was he calling him, or was he upset that
No, he was asking somebody to double up.
Okay. Because I remember like the Koulibaly thing earlier this season where he like pulled him over and
he like threw him.
Yeah, but that's a bit different.
No, that was a bit different.
Yeah.
But like he was calling for help, and I think that's just a sign to me saying he's not confident enough to take Messi on one-on-one. And I mean, look,
I don't want to take him one-on-one. They couldn't handle him in the midfield. There were a lot of good things about Liverpool's performance that I liked, but that was one of the things that I didn't like was the fact that Messi was just able to pop in whenever he wanted, and Keita, Henderson, Milner, Fabinho had no answer. They tried to swarm, and it wasn't happening. And then the Joe Gomez inclusion to try and play a bit narrow didn't really work out in their favor.
No.
And I found
you think that was a mistake? That you should have played Trent?
Well, I don't know, because Trent would have got smoked too.
Yeah.
But Trent could help you possibly. A lot of teams have targeted Trent in the bigger games. So I think that
the other side is Robertson on the other side is quite strong.
Yeah, well, and that side works because they don't really have anyone else bombing forward. But that leads to my biggest point is that I think we gotta, like, when you look at this Barcelona side, one of the underrated players that doesn't get enough credit is Jordi Alba, and I feel like he just offers another element to their attack. And if it's not Messi, we've seen it so many times this season, and even in that game where it's Messi finding Jordi Alba over the top. It's Jordi Alba delivering that cross into the box. It's Jordi Alba providing the pullback. So even when we get to your main point about who to blame on the goal, if we even want to blame someone, yes, you could look at Van Dijk and say, well, hey, you got to kind of track the man that's running across you. But the ball from Alba is phenomenal.
No, I'm not.
No, I know. But I feel like that shouldn't be lost. And we may not lose it, but there are people that are probably not seeing how great that ball was.
Yes.
That intentional pass.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a hopeful cross. And then when I get to Van Dijk, hey, look, man. Look, Virgil's been great this season. And we got to talk about that player of the year in a bit. That's going to be the end. But it's come to a point where the English media, the way they move is if they really like you, they will push you to a level that you are not at. And I feel that Virgil has been great. Can't take that away from him. But the talks, best Premier League defender ever, all of that. And it's like, pump the brakes. There's a lot to like about Virgil because he fits all the caveats of the prototypical star English defender. Great in the air, physical, combative, a team leader. Could cover.
They wish he was English.
Yeah, could cover the ground in the sense where they're playing teams that don't really have technical players that could run the channels and offer them a threat. But like in that game, and there's the game in particular this season against Liverpool where against City where he fouled Mahrez.
Yeah,
and it was something similar like that. And I even looked to the game against Germany.
Yeah, even the game against Napoli where he got run at,
and he possibly should have been sent off.
That's right.
And you look at those moments, and that is an area in his game that doesn't get talked about because we don't get to see it enough because there aren't enough great teams in that league that have players that can exploit him like that.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big weakness in his game. Great in the air, and I could say he reads the game well, but in that sense, when balls are played on the ground, I don't think he covers space that well. And that goal kind of is another indicator that that's something that he needs to work on.
Yeah.
So I look at that and I look at their approach, and they had their chances. Salah was getting 1v1 with Longley and Alba. Mane was getting in behind PK. So they got into good areas. But like you said, when as good as Liverpool are and have been this season, and as great players as Mane and Salah, great Premier League players that Mane and Salah are, look, you get in those positions, the greatest players score. The greatest players score. And when you look at Barcelona, the two guys on the score sheet, they're the cream of the crop in their positions. And when they got into those positions,
they scored.
Didn't even have to think twice.
The hardest thing to do as a forward is score one-on-one.
Yep.
That's the hardest. And I think and I've heard somebody else say this, that as a forward you're judged on how many goals you can score 1v1 with the keeper. That's always the hardest thing.
Look,
to score.
Yeah, the best strikers in the world score them nearly every single time.
That's right.
Because it is definitely the hardest thing to do.
Yep.
But they always find it. So I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And I think we've given Barcelona team praise and whatnot.
Shout out to Suarez for finally scoring in a knockout game.
Yep.
It's been years. Great to have you back, buddy.
Let's look on the flip side of that, because I thought Coutinho was poor as anything.
And it sucks because he's actually picked it up in the past few weeks or so. But that's another game that kind of passed him by. And I didn't think he was going to start, to be honest. I always knew Vidal was going to start. And we got to give Vidal credit because that's probably the best game Vidal's played in.
That was actually going to be my next point. How well Vidal played, but how poorly Coutinho played. And I think what made it worse was his former team.
Yeah.
So, he came under that pressure that Suarez was on as well.
Yeah, Suarez celebrated like he didn't give a damn.
Oh, exactly. You know what?
Shout to him. No, shout to him. I like
Good
that.
for him.
I like, get in your bag.
Yeah.
Get in your bag, Louis.
Yeah.
Don't give a damn.
You know what?
They're your past. Who cares about your past?
Yeah.
Your past don't matter.
No. And you know what? This is not the first time he's played against Liverpool.
Really?
I don't think this is the first game.
For Barcelona, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Then
Get in your bag.
Yeah, do whatever.
Do what you feel.
I don't care whether you celebrate.
No. I know. I wasn't expecting that. I thought.
No. I actually thought it would be a little bit more, but that's whatever.
Get in your bag.
But again, I thought this was a game that got by Coutinho. He didn't really shine, and I can imagine what the English media is saying. Oh, this was a great deal for Liverpool. Look how poorly Coutinho's played. Da 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 da. It's unfair criticism because he has been playing so well, better as of late, and I thought this was not the game that he wants to have one of his poorer performances.
Half of those Premier League teams would take him back in a second.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought Valverde was going to go. You see, when he took off Coutinho and brought on Sergio Roberto and then moved Semedo to right back, I thought it balanced out well. And I thought that was a great substitution. And I thought he was going to go Artur, Busquets in the middle, Rakitic to the right, and Vidal to the left, or vice versa. Because I always felt that that's how he was going to approach it.
I thought that's how he was going to start.
Yeah, that's how I thought he was going to start. Yeah. And he didn't start it that way. And he gave Coutinho a chance to play against his former side. And the first half, I don't think he was bad in terms of his movement and what he was offering. But the second half, when they were going under the pressure, he was constantly giving the ball away, and something had to give. And Valverde made the right decision and pulled them out of the game. And
but I think that's how they're going to start, by the way, at Anfield. The lineup we just said.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way. I feel like even if they go Sergio Roberto again, right? I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Sergio Roberto on the right side. But they're going to want to keep it narrow, have players that can keep the ball even in tight situations when Liverpool are going to try to press. And look, they're going to take their chances. But when Messi could just drop into midfield and no one on that Liverpool side could touch him,
yeah,
that's a big problem.
So, question for you now. Because I know what Barcelona is going to do because they've already won the league. So they're resting games. They're resting people.
Liverpool have to play their guys. They have to.
And
I don't think anyone I don't know if you're Jurgen, I don't know how you could go into that Newcastle game unless you got an agreement, cough,
right,
with Rafa that he's going to throw the game. I don't know how you could go into that game and rest players, especially because I'm pretty sure it's at Newcastle.
It is.
Yeah, man. Those boys, they play up to their opposition.
So that's my question. You got to go to Newcastle. You got to keep pace, which means that everybody plays. And then you turn around the next week. It's not that you have a 2-week break. You turn around the next week and have to play a rested Barcelona side at home. That's why at the beginning when I said this tie might be out of Liverpool's reach, it's for all those factors rolled in. I just don't see, and they're not as tired as the other team we'll talk about in a second. But the longer that second leg goes, I think you're going to start to see some fatigue.
Yeah, this is a big week for them now, because now it's even more about just being physically tired. It's the mental aspect and the emotional aspect. Like although you played well, you just took a 3-0 blow. And I don't think they've taken a beating like that this season.
No.
Barring PSG maybe.
But you know what? Klopp is a very good
motivator.
He spun it very well. I listened to the way he spoke in his press conference. He spoke very well. But I think you're right. I think this is a big week. I think if they beat Newcastle, even if they lose to Barcelona and don't advance, but let's say they win 2-1. I mean, that's they're still out of the Champions League, but they go out on a high.
Yeah.
As weird as that.
Yeah.
As
No.
be,
I get it.
But I think you're right. I think if they lose to Newcastle, and then they lose to Barcelona, that could be that. That's their season is done.
Yeah.
In a week span.
Yeah. Which is sometimes how it goes.
Yeah.
They're really pissing me off because they're making it hard to really kill them.
I know.
They're making it really hard to kill them. Because even if you look at this 2-year window, it's like to make it to a Champions League final and to make it to a Champions League semifinal, that's good on Klopp, given what he inherited and where they were. It's nice to see them back to prominence and back.
But are you still gonna kill Klopp? Because he still hasn't won it. This is what we talked about. It's all nice, but he still hasn't won anything.
The only reason I know we did speak that hot lava at the start of the season, it's gonna be hard to wholeheartedly kill him if they bring it to the last day and then only lose the league based off that. Not only based off that loss, but just the fact that they may hit close to 100 points and lose out on the final day.
Okay, that's fair. No, I just because that was the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Klopp, great manager, but hasn't won anything close, but hasn't. And this is going to be another time where he's close but doesn't win.
Agreed.
So, I just want to know. That's what we said at the start of the year. I don't know if we're still sticking with that, or you feel a little bit different now that you've seen how the season has played out, and like you said, they're gonna end up on 97 if they win out. And City's gonna end up on 98.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you really say to that?
You just put your hands up and say, okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And then you go out in the semifinals to Barcelona,
who could eventually win it. So
yeah.
You say you lost to the winners of the Champions League.
Yeah. But we're still gonna go trophyless. So
I know that's why
it's tough. It's tough. But I'm not. The thing is, I won't kill them as much as I possibly would have killed them if they didn't push it this far and if they didn't make it this far. So that's the thing. And but I don't know. I guess Firmino coming in really could help them because they did miss him. I know it's crazy, but until Barcelona scored that away goal, then I think it's still up in the air. I really want to see how Barcelona cope for those first 20, 25 minutes because how that Liverpool snowball effect could happen, where you get hit for 1, hit for 2, hit for 3.
Yep.
And that
at
press.
Anfield.
And I was talking to a Liverpool supporter today, man. It's just, you feel as corny as it sounds, you feel the vibe of Anfield through your TV.
Yeah.
It hits you in the face like, oh shit.
Yeah. You listen to that, You'll Never Walk Alone.
Yeah.
It gets you going.
And they really make you feel it. I was like, geez, you guys need to relax. So Anfield's going to be stupid.
Yeah.
It's going to be nuts. And that's going to be the craziest atmosphere that Barcelona, I think, have come across this season.
Yes.
Because I don't think the Bernabeu was like that this season.
No.
And
for different reasons.
Yeah. But that Anfield, just going there, never easy to win there.
Nope.
Never. And it's going to be, they're going to go at them. They're going to press. And it's going to be interesting to see how Barcelona's experience, how they're able to cope with it, and just the running. Because we could argue and say that Liverpool have nothing to lose here now.
I mean, and that's a fair argument.
Yeah. They have nothing to lose.
They're gonna go. They're gonna go all guns a-blazing.
Yeah, win 3-0, bringing it into extra time.
Yeah,
but it's a big mountain. And if that were the case, and they are to do it and pull it off, then we gotta have a conversation about Messi, Barcelona, and Valverde.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a conversation to be had unless this one
and if that's the case, I owe you two free seasons of soccer.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You 100% do.
So you're cheering for Liverpool.
Yeah. Last comment. Yo, man, Fabs told you guys too. I said I wasn't gonna mention him too much in this podcast. Fabs told you guys not to get that little man upset, okay? You vote him 5th?
I listen, I would have voted him 1, but
you voted him. No, I know, we know. But like, you vote him 5th, and look what this.
yeah, well,
Hey,
talk shit, get hit.
yeah, and they're getting hit. But Barcelona, like I said, no one's really talking about. It's weird that no one's talking about the treble.
Yeah, it is weird.
Why is no one talking about the treble?
I can tell you why, and I don't think it's fair, but I think they're saying that they had no competition this year.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No, it's not. But that's the talk. Oh, it's Real weren't great. Atletico is Atletico. It's not as big of a club as Real Madrid. The rest of the teams really weren't great this year in La Liga. Blah blah blah. That's the narrative, and I don't think it's fair. But that's what everybody's saying.
No, that's crazy because you know what? That Barcelona performance epitomizes what they've been this season against Liverpool. We've seen that so many times this season. If you watch them week in, week out, is that there are games where they kind of go through the motions and they're able to cope and deal with it and, ride a bit of luck, but then hit you with a haymaker like that because of that guy and because of Suarez. And that's the difference this season is that, yeah, the competition wasn't there, but Barcelona haven't really been that much better than everyone else.
Nope.
Like, I can't, they haven't. Obviously Real Madrid have had their dip. Atletico have had their issues as well. But Barcelona haven't been consistently great this season. They've had their spells, but that performance kind of summed up their season to me. And look, a trouble's a trouble. City are about to do it.
Yeah.
Perhaps City can do it. But I can't name who's the last Spanish side to win a treble. It was Barcelona.
Yep. In the Pep era.
Pep and the year with Neymar and Suarez.
Oh, that's right.
So they've won it there too. So the competition doesn't matter, and they're doing it in the Champions
when
League.
They beat Juve in the final.
Yeah. And they do it in the Champions League, and it's like, okay, well, where are the other squads?
Right.
It's not easy to win a treble. You could ask Juve, you could ask Bayern, you could ask any of the Premier League teams. Yeah, it's not easy. So that argument doesn't really stand up to me because at the end of the day, all those great teams that are apparently in Europe are in the Champions League. And I think that we should be talking about it more. And it's just another testament to the greatness of this crop of Barcelona players. You look at obviously Busquets and Messi that are still left and Piqué.
Yep. And
how they've been able to constantly reflip the switch and keep going. So, right now they are the favorites to win this tie and the Champions League because when we get to the other tie, how are we gonna build up this other tie?
No, you do that.
Spurs, North London, Ajax, somewhere in Holland. It was a big long pause. They got it going. Who would be the underdog of underdogs? Who would go to Madrid? It's a Champions League class in Madrid, right?
Yes.
And try to take down one of the giants of Europe. Who did you have in mind prior to
I'll let the music finish. I liked Ajax, to be honest. They were the favorites to me.
Yeah, they were.
And the more that game went on, the more that Spurs team looked awfully tired, gassed, to be honest. They looked gassed early. To 20 minutes in, they looked gassed. They got hit with that goal early, and they had their chances. And again, Ajax should have killed this tie off in this leg. They hit that post at the very, very end. If this is 2-0, this tie is done.
Yeah, young boy with the girlfriend off Instagram.
Yeah,
shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna give him a shout out every single week.
Good for him.
He's sick.
Yeah. he should have finished the tie. And look, 1-0 going back home. You would assume that they get the job done at home. It's kind of interesting because now it's the role is flipped for Ajax, because they've always had that second game away. So now they're a little bit, the roles are a little bit reversed. Now Tottenham is kind of in that Ajax position where they go second game away from home. Tottenham was missing Son, and you could see that they missed him, but they just look like an extremely tired team. And scary incident with Jan. He looked, and I know there was a lot of talk about the medical staff and if they were right to let him go. But
would you keep him on?
I don't know. Hindsight is great, but you gotta ask. I mean, you gotta ask the player if he feels good. And at that moment in time, I guess he said he felt good. But look, when he came off that field, that's not what you want to see, a guy coming off looking concussed like that. Like we very rarely see it in footy, that you see a guy coming off. Like you see it in hockey, you see it in the NFL where guys are concussed and you can tell.
Yeah.
He looked that. And I didn't like that, him coming off, kind of needing help to come off, didn't really know where he was. And that's a huge loss to Spurs. For take away the player and whatever, but he's a huge loss to that back line for them. And I don't know if he's going to be fit for the second leg. If he's not fit for the second leg, that's another big loss for them.
Because that means they got to play Davinson.
Yeah.
Young Davinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. Remember we had that little conversation earlier this season?
Or they're going to play fourth.
If they have to play fourth, then remember when we had that little conversation earlier this season?
That's what I'm saying.
Boy, did that age well.
Yeah. So, I don't know. To be honest, I think this tie is already done. It's just a matter of can Ajax actually be ruthless enough and step on the throat of Tottenham and kill it off? Or are they going to finally get their chances, finally rue not killing a team off?
Look, that's why they're not going to win the Champions League. So I just want to, I want to get that off my chest first. They're not going to win the Champions League, and it's just funny because I feel like just because there's something new and it's a breath of fresh air, and everyone likes to hold on to the ultimate underdog, the one that no one expected to do very well. That's why we're putting them on this pedestal. You're right. They should have probably killed the game off. And their second half performance is a bit odd because they probably had chances to do that, and they didn't. They did everything that I expected them to do. Tadic to drop deeper, the overloads, Spurs not being able to deal with Frankie, Van der Beek doing what he's been doing throughout the entire tournament, and I feel like he's an unsung hero in that squad. Great Ziyech ball again. Daley Blind followed Lucas all over the pitch.
Yep.
And Spurs reverted to Route 1 football. And it was so cliche that an English side would do that when they face a technically equipped squad filled with young technicians with the tactical awareness and intelligence to find different spaces and to really provide them with complex issues. And Spurs didn't really know how to adjust. And this has been the problem. And this has always been the problem, that you always felt like they would eventually break down. And you give Pochettino credit, especially like for him to do this in the cup competition. But the fact that they've been pushed so far in the league and they're still where they are, you got to give him credit there. But look, he set up the squad based on the personnel he had.
Yep.
And the system wasn't working. And I felt that Vertonghen coming off helped them because it brought on Sissoko and they were able to change the system. Because I don't know if he would have changed the system there. Maybe he would have at halftime.
At halftime, I think he would have.
But he didn't change the system. They looked a bit better because now they had a bit of the overload in midfield. But guys are gassed. Yeah. Eriksson, you look at Delhi, Lucas is a nice player, but he's not a difference maker. There's
Llorente's
only so much.
great.
There's so much you can only get out of Fernando.
Yep.
And this is one of the reasons why I was pretty upset that City didn't go through, because I felt that this would have given us a better matchup, and I felt like City would have pushed Ajax to a totally different level.
Yes.
And I feel like we were somewhat robbed of that. And it's nice for Spurs that their fans to get that. I don't know if Son makes a difference.
Oh, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think what he does add is that little bit of
direct pace. He has the speed. He's able to score. That's what he adds. They're gonna play on the counterattack because they can't outpossess them.
No.
And that's a tough place to go. That's a tough environment to go. And I just feel like everything they've been through this season, I just feel like it is on E. Because, like, how do you go into your game this weekend and rest players? How many can you rest? Most of them have to play because they don't have much.
Right.
You know? So how many players can you rest? Then you got to travel out to Ajax. Great night, but those boys don't play again because of the whole Eredivisie.
Yep.
Yeah. I would be pissed. That's a bit wild.
Hey, that's the league's decision.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can't really say anything.
No,
right?
you can be pissed if you're Tottenham, but it's not that just Ajax's games are being moved.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I just don't see where the goals are going to come from in that squad. Son is back, but I don't see what lineup Pochettino can play to get the goals that he needs to get out of this tie.
Yeah.
Because he's going to need at least one, if not more. Because I see Ajax scoring.
Okay.
So
and I hope so. They create too many chances to not score.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So,
this tie sucked.
I'm trying to get as much as I can.
Long story short, we're pulling straws. We're not going to hit you with all this hypothetical hoopla. No, the tie sucked.
Yeah.
The first leg sucked. We hope the second leg's better. We have no faith in Spurs. Well, Dan's a Spurs. Dan's part of the Spurs hive. But I have no faith that Spurs are going to make this any interesting at all. Perhaps if Harry was there and a few others, then we could have a discussion. But that's what happens when you don't spend any money in the summer.
Yep.
But even then, I was like, I don't know. I'm tired of using that
as
cop.
An excuse.
Cop out.
Yeah.
Look, it's a cup competition. At some point, I can't feel too sorry for you because there's only a certain amount of games that you have to win.
Yeah. And
if they really were taking it seriously, then they could definitely throw away the league. They could throw out a second side if they really are, but they're playing both.
Yeah,
they're playing both because they feel that at the end of the day, they'll take whatever they can get from the Champions League.
Right.
And I know that's what they're doing. They're not going to come out and say it.
No,
but that's definitely what is the case here.
Of course.
And it's a logical way to go about it, and I can't fault them for that.
No.
I think it's really good for the club and the supporters that they've made it this far, especially how the way that they bounced out last season. They've shown growth, but this is it gets to a point where
it's a bridge too far.
Yeah. But prove us wrong, Spurs. Prove us wrong, Poch. I don't want you to get to the final because I don't want to see Barcelona Spurs round 3.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. They'll beat you down again.
Yes. At a neutral venue, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, they'll beat you down again. There ain't nothing you could do about it.
No.
But I will say, it's funny. We never brought up the Barcelona thing. Usually when they get knocked out in the Champions League, they usually get knocked out on the road. They usually get that second leg. Usually they get it at home.
Yes.
For the most part. So that's why I found it interesting that they played the first leg at home. And usually what happens historically, for the most part, they get battered on the road and they come home and they turn it around.
Yes.
So I've seen that with PSG. I've seen that with Milan.
Yeah. Except for Roma.
Yeah, Roma was the second leg was in Rome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So history could repeat itself.
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, nights in Rome, nights at Anfield.
Yeah.
When Jurgen's troops
come marching in.
Yeah. Can Messi handle the pressure?
Yeah, I saw that thing you tweeted, by the way.
What did I tweet?
How many goals Messi has scored against Premier League teams.
Yeah. Remember, he couldn't do it on a cold night at Stoke.
Yeah.
These guys are losers.
Yeah.
Unless you go to any team in the Premier League, come on, man.
What else we got?
What else you want to talk about? This is a free pod. Potter's Pod. Get your pod off. What mattered?
You want to talk about the voting?
The voting. What are we voting about?
No, not
the P. Oh yeah. No. We can. Anything happened in England this weekend that you really want to talk about?
No. To be honest.
Oh wow, you're nice. You let David off the hook?
Yeah.
No, I'm not letting David off the hook.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, David De Gea.
De Gea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
Go ahead.
No.
Kill him.
No. Sorry. I don't give a damn, David. You cannot keep letting in goals like that and have your fans tell us that you are the best goalkeeper in the world. It's not happening. It's not. You gotta stop asking for that
Do you think that's the problem?
This is a little cop out.
Yeah, because he was that. Yeah.
No, David.
I forgot that was this weekend. Yeah.
David De Gea is a bit of a confidence goalkeeper. When it's going good, it's going great.
Yeah.
But when it's not, but that's tough, man. That's United's season, and they weren't great, but they were better than Chelsea prior to that goal.
Yeah.
And the second half, United were just pathetic.
Yeah, that's the correct word. Yep.
Well, I could be a bit harsh.
No,
but I'm gonna use pathetic. And Chelsea weren't great either. And that's why I agree with Troops. No Troops sound clip this week because you're a loser too. That this is the worst top 4 race ever.
Oh God, yeah.
By far. Well, it may not be, but just given the fact that none of them could just take control and kill it off, terrible. You got Chelsea and United tying and not really putting up much of an effort to win. You have Arsenal losing at Leicester, which we've said that their away record is trash.
Yep.
And they're proving us right. And boy, they're lucky that Troy Deeney got sent off in that Watford game because it could have been worse.
That's right.
Ramsey's out for the for the rest of the season.
Yes.
Sure. He's just like, I'm getting out of here.
Yep.
Let me get my little condo in Turin.
That's right.
So that happened. Didn't Spurs lose this weekend?
They did.
Yeah. I don't even know who they lost to. I don't care. Even if they won, you still lost in our books.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're not fact checking.
No.
But the worst top 4 race ever. And David De Gea, you think United start well, and then that
West
happens.
Ham?
Yeah, they lost to West Ham. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Could we just, at the end of the season, just whoever finished in the top 4, just be like, hey, look, they finished in the top 4. Yep. I'm tired of watching them. I don't want to watch them for the rest of the season.
No, it's been a horrendous top 4.
Yeah. Hazard with his little comment.
Yeah, give him a little wink.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
Hazard's the weirdest guy I've ever. He's the weirdest dude ever.
You would rather go out with his brother.
Huh? Yeah, Thorgan?
Yeah.
Shout out to Thorgan.
You'd rather if you had to pick one of those two to go out and on a night on the town and pick up some women.
Thorgan's a real man. Pause.
He's apparently he's on the move.
Yeah, to Dortmund, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eden's one of those guys that'll hit you with a little curveball. You don't know what he's thinking.
No.
He'll be out with you, and I don't need a wing. Well, I don't use a wingman, and he'll wingman you and take your girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he'll give you the wink.
Yeah. Like, I don't trust him at all. I don't know if he's going to Madrid.
No.
You know, like don't say comments like that.
Yeah.
You loser. So I don't know where his heart's at.
And now Zidane's asking for the season already to be over.
Yeah.
You saw that one?
Oh yeah, because
I wish the season was over.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. What happened? You thought you're supposed to be the next coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're supposed to come and see people. There's a bigger problem at Madrid, and Zidane ain't saving it. He could buy all these little youngsters. He could buy Paul. He could buy Eden. It's funny. Oh, someone's really happy outside.
Wow.
She even heard. They could buy Paul.
She was laughing at Paul.
They could buy Eden. And oh, that's crazy. Shout out to her. See, she's having a little blast.
Yeah.
What's funny is that the players that they're looking to target are the players that like are not going to help you get to the next level. They're not killers.
No,
they're not killers. You have Pogba with Casemiro and Cruz. You see Luka play this weekend, can't even complete a pass.
Exactly.
And then you get Eden, who for Chelsea in that game against United, I kill Eden because I think he was the best player on that field.
Yep.
In that game.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, when you get it to around the 18-yard box, you still don't want to shoot.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why don't you shoot that damn ball?
I'll never get it.
No. What? How many goals is he at?
He ain't hitting 20.
No.
Fabs was ridiculous. Fabs was ridiculous for thinking he's going to hit 20. So that's funny. But that's my gripe with him, is that you got to do that. And you go to Madrid, you got to do that. Because they will whistle and heckle you out of there.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think he's built for that move.
You know what? When we talked about people who have that character.
Yeah.
And you look at the type of people who have kind of succeeded there, and just to name Raul, even Cristiano, Beckham when he was there, Ramos.
Yeah.
They have that kind of little bit of like the thick. I don't want to think. I want to say thick-skinned.
Pause.
So they can, even when the things are not going well.
Yeah.
They don't let that thing. But I feel like if you make fun of Eden, he's gonna cry.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
He sulks in the corner, and then you have to go like, "Yeah, I didn't mean it."
Yeah. That's 100% it.
That's him.
Yeah.
Paul is in the same boat, by the way.
Yeah. What's Paul gonna do there?
Yeah.
Paul get bullied by them. He wants to get bullied 2 times a year by that Barcelona midfield. I thought he got twice was enough this season. So what are you gonna do?
You go back. If I was Paul, I would walk back to Turin.
Yeah. Best place for him.
Yeah.
Stay there and stay, coddled.
Yeah, that's right.
Because where else are you gonna go?
Yeah.
You're not that guy.
No.
But with Eden, it's funny because I don't want to go this far, but I feel like he has like that Neymar syndrome. Like he's like a bit of a watered down Neymar without the flash or the theatrics.
That's fair.
Because they're both great players, and Neymar is definitely more of a killer. But there should just be so much more.
Mm-hmm.
With Neymar, it's mostly getting injured in the key parts of the season.
Yes.
Because I still feel like we got robbed of a potential Neymar run if he's fit, given the competition in this tournament this season.
Right.
I feel that we got robbed of that. But I feel like both of them just play within themselves and could be so much more if Neymar possibly lessened down on the tricks. If Hazard stop being passive and passing it to players who aren't going to finish around the box. There's so many. Conte, Willian, Loftus-Cheek. Shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball. We know you could dribble the whole team and hold off 3 guys, 4 guys. Finish.
Yeah.
And that's why that Madrid move, it's going to look funny in the light. Nothing else really mattered. I'm pretty sure Cardiff's still trying to stay up, and Brighton ain't doing themselves any other favors.
No, Cardiff lost this weekend.
Yeah, but did Brighton?
Brighton.
I don't care.
Tied.
Okay,
that was enough.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about them on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about them on Monday. PFA player of the year, Virgil van Dijk. How do you feel about it?
I honestly, I wouldn't have gone with him, but I know why.
Who would you have gone with?
I think I would have gone with Sterling.
Well, he did win like the writers or something.
Yeah, that was the prize he won because he should have won because they had to give it to Virgil.
Yeah, you kind of felt that, right?
That's how I felt.
Yeah, and Raheem won Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, great.
How you could give him Young Player of the Year?
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's nuts. I could see. Okay, we know why Van Dijk won.
Yeah.
It's just funny you beat an Englishman for it.
Yeah, but when you pump the guy's tires,
yeah,
how the hell are you not going to give it to him?
Yeah, because they've been pumping it from the start.
Yeah,
and that's why it sucks for him because when he has that dip of form, they're gonna kill him so fast.
Oh,
they're gonna rip him apart. What happened to the Virgil of 2018, 2019?
Mm-hmm.
So dominant, so quick, so powerful. The commanding leader. Oh, they're gonna kill him.
Oh,
don't you worry. They're gonna kill him. But
don't you find that it's don't you think
driven.
that those awards? I don't mind the other ones, but don't you find that last award should be presented at season's end?
Yeah, it should.
Because it's almost and I don't want to use the North American example, but whoever wins it's a Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
is normally from the winning team of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I don't care if the other team's goalie had 3 shutouts.
Yeah.
But he didn't win.
Yeah.
So how is he the best player in the Stanley Cup?
Hey man, that's 2 years in a row that Liverpool players have won.
Yeah.
and City players got. I won't go as far to say Sterling got snubbed. I can understand why people could feel that way. But last year with De Bruyne, right?
Yeah.
Salah wins, and De Bruyne was the key man. Obviously, De Bruyne's performances kind of dipped towards the end of the season, but they were up by like 18 points. So,
right.
I don't know what you expect. Like, they killed the start of the season where it mattered.
Exactly.
Put themselves in that hole, right?
Yeah.
In that position. But no, it's 2 years in a row for Liverpool.
That's just my take, and maybe that's a little bit of the North American attitude. But I feel that the other awards, if you wanna do them now, okay, that's fine. But I think the
PFA Player of the Year
has to be done when the season's done.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like I said, Virgil has had a great season. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I wouldn't give it to him. I don't think he's been the best player in the league.
I just don't understand how the best player doesn't come from the team that wins the league.
Yeah,
like you tell me that you won the league, but you didn't have the best player in the league,
which is always a bit odd,
right?
Unless it's like a real joint team effort.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which you could say that it is, but
no. But there's been key players. There have been key players that have made significant contributions to what they're doing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I can't do that. And when we get to the PFA Team of the Year quickly,
how did Paul get in there?
Yeah.
The rest of those guys I could make a case for. I don't understand how Paul gets in there and Eden doesn't get anywhere near that.
Yeah, gripes here is obviously Paul, and I would definitely go to 4-2-3-1 and put in Hazard.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Fernandinho was just there because there was no other great midfielders.
Yep.
So Fernandinho and Silva, but no one really has any gripes about Fernandinho. And I would put Alisson instead of Ederson. But But that's not like a big gripe.
No, I actually sent.
Oh, you made your own?
Yeah.
Well, how different could it be from this? How different? Who else would you? Aguero fine, Sterling fine, Mane fine. Salah wasn't in it, right?
No.
Playing an ultra attacking team.
Yeah.
Take out Fernandinho, put Salah in.
I thought.
But everything else is fine, man. Everything else is fine. But I would put Alisson in there.
That's fair.
It's not like a big argument, but I like personally, and I don't care if they put Ederson in there, but I can understand why some people would feel a bit aggrieved if he wasn't there, a bit angry, a bit hostile.
Okay. I can't find.
You can't find it. Okay, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Spain's killed, so don't worry about that. Spain's done. We had some controversy in the Bundesliga, which Dan was already trying to call off the league.
Yeah, sorry.
I wasn't surprised about the Riviera Derby, and that was possibly Schalke's best performance of the season. And Dortmund just lost their cool.
Yep.
Dortmund lost their cool, and now, was that a straight red for Royce?
Yeah.
So now Royce is gone. Wolf, they could live without.
Yes.
Yeah, and Schalke just played to their strengths. They let Dortmund have the ball, no space to counter, and they took their opportunities. When you break down the game, it's like they were very organized, and I think that's the first time I've seen them that organized this season.
Yep.
And based off that, they were able to win a penalty, because they did win a penalty. They executed from a set piece.
Yes.
Which, credit to them. And then they got the free kick, which was a superb free kick.
That was a fantastic free kick.
So everything went their way, but they grinded. They defended well because they know that Dortmund can only play one way. And that's what happened. But then we get to Bayern.
Yeah.
And, Kovac got a goal, man.
Yep. And you know what? I didn't watch that game, but I just texted Jimmy. I said, Jim, just give me a quick summary. And he said, Bayern were awful. We didn't deserve any points. We're lucky to get one.
Yeah, they they were very fortunate, and they struggled throughout, just struggling to create chances. They were very open, and
didn't they miss a penalty shot at the end?
yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Like I said, right? It could have went really south, and just my thing is, I don't like. It's just been a very difficult season for them, and that's why the Poch rumors they don't surprise me. My thing with them is that, are they gonna give Kovac the keys to build on whatever they need him to? Do they trust him to bring in a new youthful project? Mm-hmm. And I don't think they do, because they're still in a transition period. And I think the reason why they highlight Poch is based off the fact that what he's done at Spurs, and that he's proven that he could get the best out of younger players. And if you give him the resources, which they will, he can highlight the players that he feels could bring them to the next level, or that players that he could work with and help them get to the next level.
Yep.
So I can understand that pull. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. But boy, did they get a lifeline based off the fact that Dortmund did lose.
That's right.
And then Dortmund got a lifeline based off the fact that
Bayern tied.
But they got to look at it and be like, damn, Bayern tied. This was our opportunity.
Yes.
And they'll be kicking themselves. And the fact they lost,
because now they even lose more ground.
Yeah, they lost.
I know it's 1 point, but still,
it adds up. They lost more ground. They lost an opportunity to go ahead. And the biggest fact here is that Marco Reus is now going to be suspended. Mm-hmm. And then after that, if you have nothing else to say, Italy. What happened over the past weekend. Yeah, the Inter game didn't really matter, but Inter still get a point.
Yes,
great goal by Nainggolan, and then Ronaldo scored a very nice goal as well.
Yes,
and Milan. Oh, big game for them.
Yeah.
And they got smoked.
Yep.
They got smoked, but barring a few Bakayoko chances, when you gotta rely on Bakayoko,
you're in big trouble.
Big trouble. Stick to my point. Can't see Gattuso staying there next season. Impossible, and they're in real danger of blowing this because Roma keep winning.
Milan are in 7th right now.
Yeah, they're in 7th because Atalanta won.
Yep.
They lost to Torino, and I'm pretty sure that affects their head-to-head if they were to finish level.
Yes.
So that's a big problem for them. And then I don't really care about Lazio because I don't trust them.
No.
But Ranieri is getting it together.
Yes.
And
so watch out for that Roma team.
Yeah, and like what I've always said about Inter is that they have enough talent that even Spalletti couldn't mess this up.
Ooh. How many games left?
It can't be many. What, 3 maybe?
4, I believe.
4?
They've played 34. Yes, so 2 games left?
You'd have to check. You got the comp on you.
They play.
You definitely. Nothing?
They hold on.
Yeah, Inter
4 games left.
Yeah.
38 games.
I don't know. It would be tough, right?
Inter at 62.
Yeah, I see it.
Atalanta at 59. Roma at 58. And Torino and AC both at 56.
But they play Udinese, Chievo.
Who's this?
Inter.
Okay.
And then Empoli, and then they have 1 game with Napoli.
Okay.
Which I could see them still getting a result against Napoli just because.
Yeah, because Napoli have nothing to play for.
Yeah, and they always find a way to hold up in these bigger games.
Yeah.
So I just trust them based off just talent alone to get through it.
Fair enough.
And but I don't trust the rest.
Nope.
I don't trust the rest. And boy, Milan are really blowing a good thing here. Really blowing it. And who do they have to blame?
Just themselves.
That's just not good enough. And the Piatek thing was gonna eventually come to an end. He was not going to be the difference maker, although he didn't start here. And they got knocked out of Coppa Italia too.
Yes, it did.
Right? So it's sad. Genoa, they play Juve, Sassuolo, Roma, and Parma. So you don't know, because at the end of the day, although
Ranieri, what about your boys?
Even though Ranieri has done well, I don't know which Roma I'm going to get week in and week out.
Check your boys. I'm surprised that's who you didn't tell me first.
Well, because we don't want to jinx them.
Oh, okay.
We definitely don't want. The big game against Lazio Sunday, Genoa, and then Lazio Coppa Italia final, and then Juve.
Oh,
Sassuolo.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they got a tough one. That's why they got a tough little schedule. For them, if they could win the Coppa Italia final, that would make my season.
Yeah,
That'd make my season.
That would guarantee them Europa League spot.
Yeah, top 4 is just like the icing on the cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I have nothing against Atalanta, so
No, you can't, because I'd fight you. That's about it. That's our little Serie A, because we're past it. We'll get into it this weekend. This Monday. We're a bit behind, but just want to give you guys a little update. I think Porto is not winning the league, so
Fabs isn't hiding.
No wonder Fabs cut.
That, by the way, that big event is coming up soon.
Which big event?
Fabs is.
Oh, I know. I don't care.
If you're listening to this, Fabs, I'll send you the wedding invite.
Yeah, you're a loser. You're not invited anymore.
I know.
Do we have to say anything about TFC? Can we save it? Did they play this weekend, right?
Yes, they do. Let's save it.
Who they play this weekend? You're
Orlando.
bad. Oh, really?
Yeah. Nani.
Ooh. Is that when is it?
Saturday at 4, 3. One of those 2 times.
Here?
No.
Oh.
Away.
You going?
With you.
Anyway, think I'm gonna be TFC on the road?
You're barely TFC at home.
You think you're gonna see a bunch of little TFC fans? Oh, we just want to go away to Orlando.
Yeah,
get a little vacation, see Disney World, and then
bring the family.
Shut up.
Hey, listen.
No. You're still a loser.
Why not?
You're still a loser.
You'd bring the family. You have a little road trip down to Orlando. You see TFC.
No, you are not cool.
No,
that is not cool.
Be a father-son bonding. moment.
That is not. Oh yeah, we're doing it for Mother's Day. My mom's a big TFC fan. You don't go to Orlando to watch it. There's no reason to have to go away to watch a TFC game unless it's the CONCACAF Champions League final.
By the way, which was this weekend?
And who won?
Or which last night? Actually, I watched it. Second leg. Monterrey beat Tigres 2-1. And if you didn't see it, we'll watch this after that. Gignac scored a fantastic scissor kick goal.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
But the only games you go to TFC away that I could be like, okay, you get a pass, is if it's the CONCACAF Champions League final, or it's MLS Cup,
or it's the Club World Cup.
Well, first you got to go to those 2.
Okay.
Then you could go to that.
Yeah, I know.
But that's the only way. But like, no, we're not taking a little trip to Philly.
No.
Or going to Cincinnati.
I've gone to Montreal away.
Okay, that's fine. That's close.
Yeah.
No, don't tell me you're going to Vancouver.
No.
Okay, that's fine. But no, besides that, no. Don't make a vacation out of TFC.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. That game, 2 great goals.
Yes.
And they didn't really control the midfield. And Ozario continues to prove to me that he can only score inside the box. And I know at first it just sounded funny, like I was killing him. But this is becoming a proven thing. He can't shoot, but I don't want to kill him. And shout out to Josie for his engagement.
Hey, give him a clap.
I said no. You think I didn't? He's injured, so he could do his little proposal. He ain't injured.
Listen,
he ain't injured. Throw a little rad to kind of brush it all over, then hit us with the little proposal. I know Josie's game, man. Josie, I haven't been. I didn't propose to anyone, but Josie, I know. You're not sick.
Shout out to Josie.
First and foremost, Josie gonna see my ass on the streets and beat it.
Yeah. Whatever's left, BP's just gonna take you apart.
No, I see Josie flexing the little biceps. I was like, okay. I don't want no smoke with that, man.
Yeah.
Whatever Josie says goes, man. If you're hurt, you're hurt.
Yeah.
Shout out to you and your superpower couple.
That's right.
I don't want it with Sloan either.
No.
Yeah, I don't want any of them. Congratulations. Keep doing you. But yeah, that TFC midfield.
We'll get to that.
They have a big little problem.
Yeah.
And saw a little goalkeeping switch again.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they both stink.
But just say it.
No.
Okay.
No. You're not gonna force me to say anything.
No, I'm not confident in either one of them. To be honest,
I don't want to say. I know.
So. Yep.
Hey, man, we ain't even trying to kill you, TFC. Dan loves you guys to death. You just aren't, making him happy right now.
Nope.
I got no problem telling y'all where you need to be. Yeah. But it's more of a coming down to earth. I think they started the season really well.
Yeah.
And obviously they missed Josie.
Look,
obviously.
In all seriousness, they've probably overachieved where they are at this point, but in MLS the most important thing is to put points on the board early and they've done that. And
numbers on the board.
And the key thing is that they've got to bring in some replacements. They need some width because they've have no wingers.
What I say?
No wingers.
What I say? They need a goal scoring attacking player.
Yep.
They need someone that they know could give them, I don't know what's the ideal MLS numbers, but whatever the ideal MLS number for goals are. I'd like to say maybe 10 goals a season. Is that fair?
10 to 15.
Yeah. 50 may be a bit much.
You think?
Depending on who it is.
Okay.
But if they could give you 10, like guaranteed give you 10 goals, that is great. But there's no one in that attacking side that could guarantee me 10 goals. And Jonathan's season was great last season.
Yeah.
Commended him for it, despite my gripes with his game. But he ain't giving you what you gave you last season because those guys aren't there to give him the space to get into the space that he needs to get into.
Exactly.
He knows it. I know it. Y'all know it. And that's a problem. So, yeah, they need a goal scorer in there because you can't rely solely on Josie. And Pozuelo only plays good on Fridays. So, he just...
You gotta have Friday night games.
I don't know what they put his little drink. His little Spanish drink?
Yeah.
But he only seems to score really nice goals on Friday.
I know.
But was it on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Is he not getting it done? But he's still very good. And he will continue to score goals. But
for sure.
I just find it funny that he decides to I'm super Pozuelo on Friday. Friday nights when the lights are on. But when the lights ain't on, oh, boy. Just regular pause.
Yeah.
With a bit of swagger, a bit of drip.
Yeah.
Oh. I feel bad. I always throw on your little squad.
That's fine. They deserve it right now. But just wait.
Wait till Drew comes back.
Who? No,
I'm just playing. I'm playing, man. Wait for what?
Apparently, I was just gonna tell you. Apparently, TFC are in negotiation with Omar Gonzalez.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whatever. That's cool.
I don't.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, they're shoring up the back line, but
wait, you're gonna wait and see.
Yeah, I still think they need. I still think they need a winger.
Yeah, they do.
So okay, it's great that you're gonna shore up the back line, and that's another issue that needs to be addressed. Yes, but I think you also need to address the width on this team because there's no width. So that's all I got to say.
Oh well,
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's Champions League podcast. They didn't even deserve our time.
They did not.
They did deserve our time. Well, we're making up for lost time. Best soccer/footy podcast in the world, providing with organic, unfiltered soccer analysis. And if you want to get the shits, well, you better get used to it because we're here Mondays and Thursdays, hitting you with everything that you need to know. No lies, no scripts, just giving you all the shit that you need to know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say shit, but, if I'm not going to do it, any of the other soccer/footy podcasts ain't going to do it. So, with that being said, this was episode 73 of the InnerViews Podcast. Dan looks like he's tired and he's got some shit to do. I've kept him past his time, but as you can see, still on the mic and the sun is still out, which means that Dan of the summer of Dan is approaching. With that being said, if you enjoyed this podcast, hated it, or think that you know someone that will hate it or potentially love it, you could tell them to find it on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and any Android devices that allow you to listen to podcasts with any Android app that you guys use to listen to your podcast, because I don't know what it is and I don't know Team Apple all the way. Gang. And if that isn't enough, you can find us on youtube.com/theinnerviews. We upload videos every day. We didn't do that this week, but we're definitely going to get to it. I'm going to get into my little Adobe. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I use, but I'm going to get to my little bag, and we're going to get to it. So stay tuned for that. Facebook.com/interviews. Like and follow and like. Also on Quora, where I answer questions. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram, The Interviews TV. I post swaggy pictures of myself that I think are swaggy, but people seem to not like. Which, whatever, man. I don't give a damn. Can't wait till they get rid of the little likes that they said they're doing. Get rid of them. I don't care. Yeah. Don't like my photos. Or you can find us on Twitter, where I'm going to continue to retweet Dan when he decides to get into that dark, vicious world that they call Twitter, where people really don't give a damn about what he has to say, but they will definitely tell him that he's wrong. I can't wait for that. So you can find us there, The Interviews TV, on Twitter and Instagram. But with that being said, it is Thursday night. The Raps are about to tip off against Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers, and we do like basketball. So with that being said, we apologize for not being with you guys on Monday, but we will be back this Monday to break down everything that happens this weekend. Hopefully we get a little spin, a little twist, something exciting happens. If not, well, you're just going to get whatever happened on the weekend. And we'll be back next Thursday to break down the second leg of the Champions League games. And perhaps if Dan allows, because sometimes we do let Dan produce, we could talk about the Europa League. So with that being said, if Dan ain't got nothing to say because he is tired of getting his little drip off, and I'm tired because it's been a long day and I have had 6 hours of sleep in the past 2 days, well, then that was the InnerViews Podcast. It's your guy Tyrrell.
It's your boy Dan.
And we are out. Hit the gunshots. Out.